Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. You know, I have been completely blessed in my YouTube journey. I really and truly have. I'm actually out here in my outdoor studio that we built originally because of COVID. When we were scared to be around people and things, we didn't want to have football parties inside the man cave. So we built this space so that way we had seating all the way around. We could put multiple TVs here. I remember, DMV being here, or E2 Blue, talking about Philly cream cheese, or Rio literally doing the chip challenge against DMV. I remember my dad sitting back here watching a game one time, and my nephew, who's no longer with us too, sitting over here watching a game. I remember going through when Stuart Morrison was getting sick and passing and things, and doing the last conversation with Stuart Morrison, doing a live stream from here. I've been busy between the Red Brick House the last couple of years and things, where I gotten away from doing a lot of the things that I normally do. But this is one of those spaces that I want to start using again. What's crazy is technology has changed. I used to have tons of HDMI cables that were run throughout so that way the TVs would work. Now we got YouTube TV, where I can just put a smart TV out here and you don't need a cable. All you need is an electric outlet. So maybe we'll start doing some more things out here during the season and things, just having more fun. Or maybe we do dual streams inside, outside, I don't know, but we'll definitely do something here. So for our Cowboys have done so many things right. Uploaded a little bit earlier a video about Michael Irvin, who has done a complete 180. Michael Irvin was so distraught when the Cowboys first announced that Brian Schottenheimer was going to be the head coach. He lost his damn mind and literally said, we're just stupid. We're talking about generationally not having games and winning games and everything else. He went off, but he went to the Legends thing yesterday, and he is now truly all in with the Dallas Cowboys and thinks the season's going to be fantastic. He likes the culture that they're building and things, the teaching process and everything else. He is excited. I'm excited. I told you from the jump street that, people, it's funny listening to the Colin Cowherd show. Cowherd wasn't on there, but one of the little weasel hosts they had in there, he said he was a coach for my Jets and sucked. I'm like, bro, your Jets now suck. Your Jets now suck. When Brian Schottenheimer was there, bro, you had Bud Fumble, and he was going to AFC Championship games with him as the offensive coordinator. With him, up here. Without him. With him, without him. But that's okay, because people have revisionist history. The thing that I love, I'm sitting here listening to 49er fans that are excited because they brought in Huff and Puff, as they call them, okay? 49er fans, when you say you're huffing and puffing, it's usually because you're tired. It's not a good thing, okay? That's not a compliment. I'm huffing and puffing. How about getting your ass to the quarterback? Because he's having a hard time doing that. And for the Eagles that are like, yeah, we did a great thing. Bro, you signed him to a 3-year, $51 million contract. You're just cutting your losses. There's nothing to cheer about. And for the Eagles, you've done more destructing the team than rebuilding the team. I get it. You got a lot of great pieces and things on there. But all these players that you've let go, you're going to miss a bunch of those guys. Trust and believe that. But that's okay. That's okay. Doesn't matter. The thing that I am still so worried about is I've seen this happen to the Cowboys too many times in the past. Is self-inflicted wounds. And that is Micah Parsons. I think about Micah Parsons and his deal. Okay? Now, maybe it's all innocent that week number 2 of OTAs, Micah Parsons isn't there, that he decided to go traveling now. After saying how important it is for him to be here, to be a leader, to learn a new system, that he's not an iPad guy, that he's a hands-on guy, that he hasn't been here this week, that Brian Schottenheimer saw him at the airport. And this may be a subtle message. Hey, you know, Jerry and crew, I'm going on a trip. I'm leaving on a jet plane. Yeah, he's leaving on a jet plane. And maybe it's completely innocent. Or maybe it's a subtle nudge to say, you know what? Have fun without me right now. Here's a taste and a sample of what it'll be like during training camp without me. Because it seems like we've been down this road before, because I remember Zeke Elliott showing up originally to OTAs and doing the things he was supposed to do. And then by the time training camp came around, we were still not anywhere near it. And he ended up having to say, you know what? I'm going to sit out. I'm going to hold out. Because every time we've had that situation, it's blown up in our face. D-Law, although he was not a holdout in training camp, he might as well have been, because he wanted to get his contract done early, much like Micah did, and he had a problem with his shoulder, his rotator cuff. And as leverage, he decided, I am not going to get my shoulder operated on until I get my contract, which was the end of May. Unfortunately, it took the whole summer of recovery. He couldn't lift weights on that shoulder. And if you don't understand that a defensive end needs his arms and his strength to be able to create separation, then you don't understand football. You lost the season right there because you waited to pay him. And it wasn't that you ended up paying him less, that it ended up being you saved a whole bunch of money by switching to Geico. No, you didn't. It still cost you a big chunk of money. You saved nothing. Zeke Elliott going to Cancun and running on the beach. That year, Zeke wasn't that good. That blew up in our face. We need to get this thing done and put behind us. Now, tomorrow is a huge day in the NFL. Tomorrow is June 1st. And that's when the cuts from June 1st, or the trades from June 1st, the money can be split up over 2 seasons. It makes it more advantageous to let go some of these veterans, because you can get a lot more cap space this year because of that. And that's where you have some players. Well, first of all, we know that Zach Martin will be officially going onto the retired list, where the Cowboys get $1.25 million. If the Cowboys decide to move on from Donovan Wilson, they can get $9 million right there. If they decide to move on from Damone Clark, they can get $3.5 million. So there's money that can be made that can help you in your cap situation. Also, making trades are easier. We know that Jalen Ramsey is a guy who's on the trade block. Miami wants to move him. There are other guys that will be on the trade block. Kyle Pitts. Some teams have been calling Kyle Pitts, who's been, I remember being out here talking with DMV, where DMV was like, Kyle Pitts is going to be a generational tight end, and we need to do everything to get Kyle Pitts. Well, it hasn't worked out quite that way for Kyle Pitts, but he is a talent, and maybe a change of scenery is the thing that he needs. And you could look at that and say, he is a wide receiver tight end. He is another weapon that you can definitely make some hay with. I'm not suggesting that the Cowboys go ahead and bring in Kyle Pitts, but there are players out there that can definitely help us. I think we still, as good as Osundigizua is, and how Solomon Thomas looks, and Mozzie taking another step, and Jay Tola, there'd be nothing wrong with hiring a great defensive lineman to put into the rotation. And I'm still concerned about our secondary. And so if the Cowboys, with this cash that they have, and they do have $31.8 million that will go to 33 tomorrow, that potentially could go to 43 if they make some of these other moves. And if they ever get Micah Parsons deal done, that'll be another 10. The Cowboys could be sitting here looking at over $50 million of cap space right now. I know that we've got players next year to sign, with, of course, Tyler Smith and Deron Bland. You could make those deals done this year. And I understand Deron Bland may be one that they want to wait on because they want to see a few more leaves off the tree. I'm okay with that one. Tyler Smith, bro, you need to tie that thing down. Right now, the highest paid guard in football is $23 million. You wait till next year, it's going to be $26 when you pay him. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a guy with a day job and a voodoo doll that actually forgot how nice it is to sit behind this desk. I literally feel like I'm Sports Center here. Da-da-da, da-da-da. I just need to get monitors back up here again. I think maybe we'll do some more work here on the outdoor studio, and maybe I'll get a separate computer because I don't want all the wiring run inside like I did before and things. Maybe just like a laptop and just be able to plug it in and have the monitors and things like that and make it a little more interactive, because I built this thing. And I tell you, this thing's been out here for 4 years. This countertop, solid mahogany. Yeah, I built this. It still looks freaking fantastic, even out here in all the weather. As always, good people, I appreciate you guys, and we will definitely be doing more out here in Jobu's outdoor studio. Peace out. In fact, we ought to make it the cigar report. Come out here and just smoke a cigar. Yeah, the Jobu cigar, with cigars. Smoking too many cigars aren't good for you. Maybe I'll get the bubblegum cigars. Yeah, we'll get the bubblegum cigars. Or maybe we'll just get a cigar and we just won't light it and just hold on to it in our own. There's that. We can do that. I'll take your suggestions here. As always, I appreciate y'all. And we're trying, of course, the wireless mic to see if the sound is better or not. I hear the birds out here screaming around. I hear the water in the fish pond, and then the cars going down the parkway. So we'll see if you only hear me.